Hi there, it's Dan here from Flex, and today we're going to talk about how to get appointments with contractors using Facebook ads. Let's get going. So before I get started, just over halfway through this video, we're going to actually show you inside our ad account, and you're going to be able to see how we set up our micro conversions to be able to be set up for success when we're running our Facebook campaigns and troubleshooting. All right, you're going to really enjoy this. You'll be able to mimic it and use these things for yourself. Okay, so we all know this is a huge industry, okay? And we all know that contractors in all shapes and sizes need leads to be able to grow their business. And there's, as I said, there's a big industry where people and lead gen agencies are supplying leads to these type of businesses. It could be roofing, it could be solar, it could be kitchen remodeling, it could be landscaping, it could be renovations, it could be pools, it could be, there's just so many options out there and so many businesses that want leads, right? And as we've kind of dug into this industry more and more with our Flex Configurator stuff, if you haven't seen that, then there's a video here which I'm pointing to now, which you'll be able to kind of see. But what we've found is that, this is an extremely competitive industry. And we've started running some ads probably for about a month now on how to land appointments with these type of clients. And today I'm going to talk you through what that looks like, the problems that we've come up with, how we've troubleshooted them, the type of creatives we've used, and how this has worked for us and how we've kind of cracked the nut, I guess. So let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to be fairly transparent here. The industry that we've started with, and we're going to diversify into many different areas as an agency. But the industry that we started with is roofing. And when we originally started showing ads to these contractors, the roofing contractors, we had this angle that we had the highest quality leads that you could possibly buy, right? And we do. The Flex Configurator stuff, the highest quality leads you can buy, way better than Home Advisor and Facebook leads and all that type of stuff. They're exceptional. And we thought that this was going to be an angle that was going to work, right? The other thing that we thought was going to work was be able to send people from the roofers from an ad to a landing page where they could book an appointment in, all right, straight into their calendar, so they could sit a Zoom with our salespeople to close them into the program, right? And we got this completely wrong. First of all, every single person, every lead gen on the planet is pushing the highest quality leads. Everyone thinks they've got the best leads, all right? So these roofers are being hit left, right, and center with the same hook and angle. And yeah, we got some appointments and, we got some good calls out of it, but it was just expensive. Our ads just were kind of going for a little bit, then fatiguing and dropping off, and they were just like a bit crap, right? So we learned that our creative and our hook was not right. The second thing we learned was that roofers are usually in their truck or on a roof or trying to do a job or whatever, right? The last thing they want to do, initially anyway, is jump on a Zoom call. It's like going on a first date with someone. You don't try and go all the way with them. You just try and have a coffee with them to start with, right? It's too big a jump from clicking on a cold ad to booking an appointment for a roofer. All right, so what we saw, and we had Hotjar and all of that installed on our landing page, is that people were engaging and reading the page, and our page copy was actually very good, and it still is very good. And they were reading it and going through it, and then when they got to the appointment, the calendar to book an appointment, we were just losing them. All right, and it took us a good, we're pretty slow here sometimes with testing, which is okay, right? Because you need to have enough data. But we realized that this just wasn't working, so we got our ad wrong and we got our landing page wrong. We were asking for too big a commitment. So that was the first mistake that we made. But when you're starting out in a new industry and you're trying to get stuff going, you have to make these mistakes in order to get better. You just can't throw in the towel and say, this isn't working, and move on to the next thing. All right, so what did we do next? So we had to figure out, well, first of all, we had to have some data, right? So I'm very lucky to have someone in my team, Graham, who's very good at the conversion API over at Facebook. By the way, we're just running Facebook ads only. And what we found what he set up was to make sure that every event was being tracked, you know, from the click to the landing page view to the start the calendar to be able to, you know, finish the calendar or become a lead, right? So we knew what our stats were, we knew how many people were coming in and what that looked like, all right? So we knew what we had to try and beat, okay? So once we had a team meeting and we said, okay, guys, this isn't working, what can we do? We decided that we were going to set up the same kind of funnel, but we were going to have a micro commitment quiz on that landing page, which got them engaged and asked them some questions and just kind of whet their appetite a little bit. And what happened after that is we knew we had to set up some events for Facebook to be able to measure if they clicked the ad, if they hit the landing page, if they started the quiz, if they got to the if they got to the question where they put their name and email in, and then the next one was when they put their phone number in, and then the next one after that was when they become a lead, right? And the idea behind this, and we were thinking in advance of what we were going to see, is that we could figure out where the hole is in the funnel, so we can delve in and be able to fix that problem when it happens, which it inevitably will happen. So before we even got going, we kind of mind mapped our funnel out. We knew what it looked like. We knew what their events were that we had to kind of troubleshoot and have fire inside of Facebook. And then once we had that, we were good to go. So what happened next? Let me first of all ask Graham, who's sitting right here now, about what happened before, what happened with our appointment setting funnel when we were just going ad to landing page with a calendar. So Graham, how much money did we spend on this? By the way, it's only small budgets. We're going to scale this later, but we want to get it dialed in on small budgets first, which I would recommend. How much did we spend?
Spent £704.
£704, about $1,000 roughly. How many clicks did we get?
Got 293.
293 clicks, which is about £2.50 a click, roughly.
£2.40, yeah.
£2.40 a click, about $4, which I think is quite high. I think we needed to work on our creative, but remember we were going after the highest quality lead, as I was saying, which is not, you know, everyone's saying that, so it just the roof is gloss over, I believe.
It's about $3 a click then.
$3 a click.
Yeah.
My conversion rate's not very good. Okay, so we spent about what, roughly $1,000?
$1,000, yeah.
Roughly $3 per click.
Yep.
And how many appointments did we get out of that funnel?
We got 11.
11 appointments with a cost per appointment of
£64.
£64, which is 80 bucks, something like that. You can see, and by the way, because I'm relatively new to lead gen in this area, $100 appointment is pretty good. Okay, people will pay that at scale. Okay, so we're kind of excited when we saw these numbers. We're kind of excited about what we can do, right? Even with the funnel that wasn't working, with the wrong angles, we're still under $100 per appointment. All right, so we weren't happy though. We had to make some changes. So at that point, we decided to install what we call it our Holy Grail funnel. Okay, again, I've got a video up here, which I think it's a webinar where I explain how our Holy Grail funnel works. And how it helps people go from landing page to lead to appointment and everything that kind of, all the moving pieces inside that, high level, lead bite, you know, all of these kind of cool things that help optimize the lead to appointment ratio. Okay, so we knew we had something good here, but we had it in our back pocket. So after we'd set up all of our micro conversions inside the Facebook ad account, we only switched this on how long ago?
A couple of days ago.
A couple of days ago. All right, so it's very new, and we also changed the optimization event or the conversion event. Right, we went from optimizing for appointments to optimizing for leads because we thought that was smarter to do that out of the gate, and I think it's the right move. But you know, things are going to change and evolve, and I think they're going to get better after these 2 days. Right, so. How much have we spent, Graham?
So on this funnel, we spent £251.
£251, only a couple of days in.
Yep.
How many leads did we get?
So we've got 116 clicks.
116 clicks, which means we've got a cheaper cost per click.
Yep.
okay, because we put some new ads up that weren't all focused on the the highest quality leads, which has brought our CPCs down, which is great.
Yep. And lead wise, we got 9 leads.
9 leads.
Yep. Which is about £27.
£27 a lead, about $40 roughly. Yep.
And from that we got 5 appointments.
And 5 appointments with a cost per appointment of
£50 an appointment, 56% lead to appointment ratio.
£50 per appointment, at 56% lead to appointment ratio. And I've been speaking to our sales team. I think every one of them showed up so far. Okay, so very high show up rates, very engaged prospects, very good quality, and we've gone from quite a high cost. We haven't slashed that much off, but it's been significant enough for me to get quite excited about it. All right, and what I'm going to do now, because I think me going back and forth with Graham's not a great idea on this video, but I'm going to hand over to him, and he's going to do a screen share of what these kind of micro commitments look like, because I think it's important for you to see how many clicks we got, how many landing page views we got, how many quiz starts we got, and all of those different things along the line. Okay, so you can see where the hole is and what we're going to focus on next. I'll hand over to him now.
Hey guys, so just to take you quickly through our account, which I know a lot of people like seeing. So this is obviously for the date range of the 24th of March to the 3rd of April. This is where we were running purely just to a calendar page where they were just booking in an appointment. So as Dan's already kind of mentioned, we spent £704. Obviously the cost per traffic's quite high, so this was quite targeted. We wanted to get the right kind of people in. We were getting £2.40 a click. And a click-through rate of 1.77%. So, the ads are working, and then we worked on the page to try and boost conversion rate. This is slightly over-reporting. There was only 11 appointments scheduled, so that's slightly over-reporting. So it was about £64 a schedule in the end. And then obviously we got the content views, which were quite a bit below the link clicks, so we'd be wanting to try and boost that. I think 60% hit the lander, so we've been working on kind of like load times and making sure it loads quickly and to boost it. Obviously this is actually a browser-based pixel, though it's not a Facebook conversion API, so you take it with a little bit of salt. That is probably a little bit higher than that, but you want to try and improve that anyway. And then the appointments, so that's about £64 a schedule in the end. So then we have when we moved to a lead-based campaign. Now I do this a day after the video was done. So the stats Dan gave in that were live stats. So this is actually how it ended on the 8th. So it's going to be slightly different. So I ended up spending £372 over the time period between the 5th when we turned this on and the 8th. That was the date of the video that Dan did. And then, as you can see, cost per click has dropped quite significantly. So it's now about the £1.89, which is some of the new ads that we've put in. Click-through rate is up also, which is about just over 2%, which is going well. Now, we actually only had 11 website leads. So this is, again, just a couple extra over. It will normally settle down after a while. But we got 11 leads. The content views is slightly up. So we're on about the 70% mark here after doing a bit of work on the lander and the loading page and the loading times. And if you come along now, we've got all these stats based on kind of like contact series quiz start. We got people who hit the first name, last name node, people who hit the email and phone number, and then obviously the leads, and then appointments. Appointments is quite significantly off at the moment. So this is something that I'll be working on. We've got a Facebook conversion API set up for this at the moment. So I'll be working on that for the Facebook conversion API for the schedule, because we actually have 6 there, so that's quite a bit off 50%. So I'll be working on the high level Facebook conversion API. But we see we get a lot more data, and as you can see, we've got 9 people who hit the searches page, which is basically the sorry page. They're not qualified. They haven't got a website. So we got those, and they can opt in to a database where we can email them to try and upsell them later on, or get them basically leads, paid for leads from traffic sources. This is for the configurator. So yeah, as you can see, probably a little bit lower cost per lead with if you've got the 6 in, so that's about 60, just about £60, £62. But we've also got an extra 5 leads on top of that, which is handy for this, kind of like the same price you would have got the appointments for. And we also got a lot more data that we can use to try and optimize the funnel. So yeah, that's kind of how we've set up our kind of campaigns. We're going to carry on with this, and we're going to try and optimize further, ad level and landing page level, and yeah, we're going to update you on how the optimizations go. So cheers, guys.
Right, so now I want to talk to you a little bit about the creatives we use, because remember I said that we went in with the highest quality leads. What everyone else is saying in the market didn't work so well. And what I did, and I call this let your market do your marketing. I don't call it that, I got it from a friend of mine. Let your market do your marketing, all right? So rather than kind of guessing what the best angle or hook is into this market, I went over to a few contractor forums. There's plenty of them on the internet. I went to some Facebook groups. I went onto Reddit. I spent a good 4 or 5 hours just copy and pasting, gathering information, reading, just, market research, right? Figured out what language the roofers were using, what the terminology was. And then I found the gold mine. I went to YouTube and found these ex-roofers that are teaching roofers how to scale their business, right? And then I started learning about yard signs and how they schmooze insurance agents so they can get the hail damage jobs for free, right? So the hook of having the highest quality leads is not really true, because they can get free leads from an insurance agent if they get in bed with them, right? So I can see now why these weren't working so well. And what I did is I took all of that intel, all of that learnings, and started creating some hooks based on storm damage, based on door knocking, based on yard signs, insurance agents, all of these things that I've been reading about. I started using their language, and things just went so much better. Okay, when I spent some time, rather than trying to kind of guess the hook, letting the market tell me what the hooks are, listening to their stories. I mean, one of the contractor forums, there was a guy talking about how it pains him to see his dad up on the tools on the top of a roof carrying a heavy toolbox up, and he's 60 something and he doesn't want to be like that. These are the type of things that I can use in my copy moving forward. So that was a really valuable experience. I highly recommend you do it if you can, is to let your market do your marketing, to come up with your hooks rather than just guess it and reverse engineer what your competitors are doing, because almost no marketers do this. 0 marketers spend the time doing this. So you're going to have a huge competitive advantage if you can do that. Well, that's it for today, people. I hope you've enjoyed this case study. It is very early days for us, but I'm super excited, because once we have this dialed in, guess what? We can take it to all these different home improvement industries and just really scale with our configurator program, which I'm very excited about. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give us a like so we know to create more videos like it. If you've got any questions about what we're doing, or you can give us some tips, I'm always open to have discussions with people that are really good at doing this type of stuff. Comment below. And lastly, please subscribe so you're the first to know if there's any new videos like this coming out. And of course, if you're a lead gen and you're struggling with retainers and clients and scaling your business and being a master of none, then what about the pay per lead model? We've got a case study on how you can move from the old way to the new way. It's really good stuff. There'll be a link somewhere, check it out. I'll speak to you soon.